Hello, so today I'm going to show you how to start sketching in OnShape. So hopefully you've already watched the previous video or know how to create a new drawing in OnShape, but I will do that again right now. So once you're logged into OnShape, you probably will not have all this stuff. You will not have all this stuff, okay? But you will create a new document. So you just hit create document. You can go ahead and give the document a name. Okay, so give it the assignment name, whatever that may be. This one I'm just going to call OnShape Sketching. Okay, if you don't know what the assignment name is, ask your instructor, but go ahead and give that a name and hit create. All right, once it creates, all right, we are going to be working on sketching tools. So right here, none of these are the sketching tools. These are all the 3D tools. All right, so we first need to create a sketch. So to do that, you click the button right here where it says sketch, and it tells you it creates a new sketch. If you hover over it long enough, it'll tell you what each tool does. It does that for all of them. Okay, but click on sketch. It wants you to choose a sketch plane. So you have 3 sketch planes right here. Okay, depending on what you're doing, depends on the sketch plane you choose. Okay, generally, if I'm doing stuff for CNC work, I will most likely start on the top so that when it brings in the CNC program, it is already in the top view. Most of the stuff we'll be doing, it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but we'll probably start with the front view here today, but just depends. So go ahead and click front view. All right, you can sketch like this. I, however, do not. I like to look at it straight on, so I will come over to my view cube over here, okay? And if you hover on it, you can see you can choose all these different angles. So we want to just click on front, and boom, there's the front view, okay? Majority of the sketch tools, actually all the sketch tools are right here, okay? The ones that actually do drawing are line to text, okay? Everything else is used to modify your lines, okay? So we'll start with the line tool, okay? So you'll just click on that. It gives you a little cursor here, and you can start sketching anywhere. Actually, I always like to kind of start right here at the midpoint or the origin. All right, so you can click there, and then you can draw a line. All right, you can see a number pops up by the line. All right, so let's just bring this out. And if I click it again, now you can see the number is ready to be typed in. You got 2 options here. You can either type the number in that you want it to be, and the line will be that long, or you could just hit enter, and it would keep the line at 2.065. So we're just going to go ahead and change the number. You don't have to click in there. This is something a lot of people do, is they'll go and try to click in the text box. When you try to click in the text box, it thinks you are selecting for a new line, okay? All you have to do is type. So you just type 2, all right? And then hit enter, and it'll make the line 2 inches long, okay? Now at this point, I could go ahead and sketch off of this. If I want to go and sketch back to the origin, however, I want to hit escape on my keyboard, which will escape me out of that command, okay? You can either go up and click the line tool again, or if you type L on the keyboard, it will bring the line tool back up. And then I can click here, and I can go ahead and draw this line however long I want it. let's say I want this one to be 3, so I'll just type 3. Okay. Now you'll probably notice a difference here. This one is black. This one is blue. Okay. The difference in color means constraints. So this one is constrained. It is 2 inches long, and it is parallel. Probably isn't the right word, but it is on this line right here. Okay, so it is in the same spot. All right, that's this one right here, horizontal. So it's horizontal to it. What that means is I can't move this. All right, so I can click on it. I can do whatever I want. I can't move it. Okay. This one, however, I can click on it. I can click on it and I can move it. Okay. I can't make it shorter or longer because it's 3 inches long, but I can change the angle. All right. So to get this one black, all right, there's a couple ways you could do it. Okay. If this is supposed to be straight up and down, we could make it perpendicular. Okay. So I could click perpendicular and choose these 2 lines, and it'll make it perpendicular. Okay. Oh, by the way, if these tools don't show up like this, I'm on a bigger screen. They may not. It may pull up as a pull down like these. So there might be a little arrow here. And then you can choose which one. Unfortunately, it's the last tool you used. Yours will probably default to coincident. But once you choose different tools, those will be the ones that are displayed, and then you'll have to click the arrow to do the other ones. Okay. But that perpendicular, if we want it vertical, I could just click this and then make it vertical. Okay. We don't have a tangent. It's already kind of coincident right down there. Parallel, we couldn't make this parallel to that one, but if we had another line here, we could. Okay, we could do equal to make them equal length. All right, you can fix it in place, which means it won't move at all. All right, or depending on what you're doing, I like to go dimension, and you click on that one, and then you click on this one, and I'll give you an angle dimension, and then I can type in 60. Okay, and when I do that, you can see now those are dimensioned. So if you just want it perpendicular, just use the perpendicular constraint, and it'll make it 90. All right. But if it's going to be an angle, and if you're looking at, you're going to modify that angle, I would definitely put in a dimension angle. Okay. All right. So this is similar to some of the assignments you're going to be doing. So I'm going to kind of go through as I would for the assignment. So this one, this is lines. So I'm just going to finish this sketch. Okay. You can see the dimensions and everything disappear. Don't worry. If you either double click on this or right click edit, the dimensions will pop back up. Okay. But I'm going to rename this one. So you can go down here, right click on it, rename. I'm going to call it line. All right. So next we're going to put in a new part studio. So down here by the plus is an insert new tab. So you'll click on that and you'll go create part studio. All right. And we will do a sketch, and I'll do a sketch on the front. I'll go front. And this time we're going to do a rectangle. There are 2 types, actually 3 types. There's the corner rectangle and the center point rectangle. Those are the 2 I use the most. All right, I'll show you the difference. Okay, we'll start with corner rectangle. You click that. It wants to know the first corner. So I'll click right here for the first corner, and then I'll start dragging it. Now you can see we get 2 dimensions with this one. So wherever I click, it wants the size of my first side. So let's say I want that to be 3. So I hit 3, enter, it automatically goes to the next one, and I'll hit 2, enter. Type in 2, enter. Okay. By doing that, you can see now this one is fully constrained, which is kind of nice. All right. So that's corner rectangle. All right. Center point rectangle. You just click in the center and then everything comes out symmetrically. That's kind of nice. So you click it and same thing. You go 3, 2, and it'll keep it symmetrical around the center point. This is really useful if you're wanting to make patterns. If you need this on the origin, it works out really nice for that. You don't have to worry about dimensioning it and everything. This one automatically constrains as well. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put in a corner one here, just so you can kind of see. Now you can see these two aren't constrained. These two lines aren't constrained, or at least doesn't look like they are. Okay, so that's already perpendicular. That one's looks like it's equal or parallel. All right, so what if we do equal? No. And it's probably because it's not fixed to the origin. If it was fixed to the origin, so I would probably just go and fix this point. When I do that, then it's all fixed in place. So I'm just going to rename this one rectangle. All right, do a new part studio. I'm going to show you circles on this one. So new sketch, front plane, you look at the front, go to circle. There are 3 types. There's center point, 3-point, and ellipse. Center point circle, just click on that. That's the one I use the most. Click the center, and then you can type in the dimension. All right, and now it's constrained. The nice thing is tangent. So if I have a line here, all right, and I want that to be 4, I can click tangent, and I can make that tangent to the circle. All right, so it makes a tangent to the circle, but I can move it anywhere I want. All right, so if I want to make that thing black, I would either have to dimension to the center. You could make it horizontal or vertical if it needed to be. You could make it equal to something else. You could make it symmetric. It depends on what you got going on. If you don't want it to move, you could fix it. So I could come in and just fix one of the points, and then it wouldn't move. Okay. So I'll rename that one circle. All right, we'll do another, create another part studio. Sketch, front. Okay, the next one is arcs. The 3-point arc is usually what I use the most. If you click on that, you can click, usually I click the 2 outer points, and then this one will tell you what the radius is. Okay, this one, if you want it to be constrained, you either need to put a line in or fix the points or something so that you can't move it, because I can take this and by moving it, I can kind of change it how I want. All right. If I take this and put it on the middle, I'd probably have to move it to the middle, but that would constrain it as well. So we could just fix it. All right, now it won't move. All right, so I have inscribe polygon next. So this one I'm just going to rename, and I'm going to call it arc. All right, another part studio. Okay, another part studio. I'm going to click inscribe polygon. I'm going to choose the center, and you can see it's giving me a polygon. All right, it always starts with 6 sides, I believe. So there is inscribed and circumscribed. Depends on which one you want. This is an inscribed. You can do a circumscribed. So all that means is inscribed is there's a circle in the center. Okay, where circumscribed is a circle on the outside. So we're going to be measuring from the flats on this one, whereas with the circumscribed, you measure from the points. So usually bolts, nuts, things like that are inscribed, so they measure from the flats. All right, so I'm just going to click this. It wants to know how many sides. It defaults to 6. You can obviously make it smaller. If you want 6, you can just hit enter. Oh, I want to change the size. Let's change it to 3. Okay. If you didn't change the size, you could put a dimension in here and dimension it and make it bigger, but that's what dimension is, a circle there. Okay. All right. So that is polygon. Okay. So next, another part studio. And we got spline. Okay, spline is useful from time to time if you have like your irregular curves you're wanting to make. But basically you click this, and then as you kind of move it, you get a spline. Okay, sometimes you got to come back to the beginning for it to complete. All right, again, this one you'll probably have to fix points if you want it to be fully constrained, especially if you want these free-form curves that you don't necessarily care about what the radius is. But that's what the spline is. I use it a couple times depending on what I'm making. Usually it's more freeform stuff. Mechanical stuff, besides airfoils, I don't use it a whole lot. All right, so that is spline. Okay, next one is point and text. I'll probably just do those two together on one because they're not that bad. So I'll create a part studio, new sketch, boom, front, point. So I'll click on point, and all this does is exactly what it says. You just click points. Okay. Useful because it can give you a starting point for things. Okay. So you can line things up perfectly if you need to. Text does exactly as it says, puts in text. So if you click and drag, you'll put it in a text box. Type stuff in, you can change it, bold it, stuff like that. There's different fonts. Not all the fonts that are available to like Word and Google Docs and stuff, but it has quite a few. You hit OK, and it'll put the text in. The size of the text is controlled by the text box. Okay. This one, it is best if you kind of constrain it in the middle, because if you don't, you can see you'll just move it. So what I like to do is figure out what I want it. I'll move this to a spot. You can see it kind of constrained it there. And now I can make the text smaller or bigger, depending on how I want it. Okay, make it fit. If you want to edit the text, I thought you could double click it, but I guess not. You have to right click on it You have to highlight it, right click on it, edit text, and then you can edit the text. Okay, so that's so I'll rename this one text. That is pretty much all the drawing tools really quick. Just to kind of show you, or all the sketching tools, just show you how to use those. Again, get ready for your sketching assignment in OnShape. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask your instructor. And remember, smash that like button and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next video.